I have lost track of how many times I've heard marketing leaders saying that they need more traffic, or growth is flat, or the funnel is not converting. So the answer must be more volume, right? More budget, more channels, maybe more top of the funnel activity. But here is what actually happens. Your traffic doubles, your revenue grows maybe 20-25%, and maybe your CAC doubles too. So you are back where you started, just spending more to get the same result. Today, I'm breaking down why more traffic rarely fixes growth problems in mature organizations and what to look first. Let's get into it. In my marketing career, I have seen this pattern play out dozens of times, and here is how it typically goes. Let's say a business is doing $5 million a year and growth has plateaued. The leadership team looks at the numbers and thinks that they're not getting enough leads. Maybe they need more traffic. So they increase the paid media budget by maybe 50% or even double it. Traffic does increase, maybe from 50,000 visitors a month to maybe 100,000. But revenue does not scale proportionally. It might go up maybe 15 to 20%. And when you look at the unit economics, the CAC went from say $200 to $400. So what happened? Sometimes it's traffic quality, wrong audience, wrong channel. But in my experience, the traffic was fine, but the system underneath it was not ready to convert at that volume. There was no repeatable process to capture and convert that traffic efficiently. And when you scale traffic without fixing the conversion system first, you are just amplifying the inefficiencies. Let me show you what I typically find when I audit a company that thinks they need more traffic first. Most businesses think in terms of funnel stages: awareness, consideration, decision, but they do not have systems for moving people between those stages. There is no consistent nurture process for leads that are not ready yet. There is no re-engagement mechanism for people who visited once and disappeared. And obviously, there is no systematic approach to moving prospects forward. So what happens is prospects enter the funnel, show some interests, and nothing happens. No follow-up, no next step. Here is another one. Marketing generates a lead and sales response time is inconsistent. Sometimes 1 hour, sometimes 3 days, or the definition of qualified lead from marketing does not match what sales thinks. There is no clear SLA on follow-up. So you are generating traffic, but there is no coordinated system to convert it consistently. Here is another issue. The team is tracking volume metrics such as visits, impressions, clicks, but nobody is consistently measuring conversion rate by stage. Nobody is tracking how long it takes prospects to move from awareness to purchase. And most of them do not have a clear view of where the funnel actually breaks down most often. So when growth pauses or stagnates, the only lever they can play is more traffic. I'm not saying that traffic does not matter. Traffic absolutely matters. But in a mature business, traffic is only as valuable as your ability to convert it. If your conversion system has gaps, adding more traffic just exposes those gaps at a higher cost. This is what I typically recommend for companies in this situation. Build or fix the conversion system first and then scale the traffic. Let me walk you through the process. The first step is to map the actual customer journey. And I'm not talking about theoretical funnel stages. The actual path your prospects take. How do they first hear about you? What do they typically do next? What causes them to move forward versus going quiet? How long does this process usually take? And what touch points seem to matter most? You map this using real data from analytics, CRM, and sales conversations. The second step in the process is identifying the biggest drop-off points. Once you have the map, look for where prospects fall out most frequently. Think about, is it between the first visit and the sign-up? Is it between the sign-up and activation? Or is it between demo and purchase? In most companies, there are 1 or 2 stages where 60 to 70% of prospects drop off. And that's where you focus first. The third step is to build or improve systems for those stages. If prospects are dropping off between the first visit and sign-up, What is your follow-up process? Is there one? Is it consistent? Is it automated? And if they are dropping off after the sign up, what's the onboarding experience? If they are dropping off after demos, what is your sales follow-up cadence? The key is building repeatable processes, not one-off campaigns or manual tasks that only happen when someone remembers. The next step is to measure what actually matters. You track metrics that tell you if your system is working. I'm talking about conversion rate from visit to lead, conversion rate from lead to opportunity, time to convert at each stage of the process, and the drop-off rate by stage. These metrics show you exactly what's working and what needs adjustment. The last step in the process is to scale the traffic. Once you have improved the conversion system, once the handoffs are working, and once you have closed the biggest gaps, then you scale the traffic. And now the incremental traffic converts more efficiently because the system is there to handle it. This is typically the difference between organizations that scale efficiently and organizations that hit growth ceilings despite increasing the spend. Let me give you an example from my own career. Recently, I worked with a B2B SaaS company doing about 8 million in annual recurring revenue. They wanted to significantly increase the paid media budget because they felt they were not getting enough leads. When I looked at their funnel, they were getting about 40,000 visitors a month and around 2% converted to trial signup. So roughly around 800, 850 signups a month. Of those trials, about 10 to 12% were converting to paid customers. Call it maybe 80 to 90 new customers monthly. And they were thinking like this: increase the traffic, increase trials, increase customers proportionally. But when we dug into the data, we found that about 60% of trial users never meaningfully engage with their product. They would sign up and either not activate or use it once and just disappear. And the users who did activate, there was a specific point in the onboarding where a significant portion of that traffic churned. So before scaling traffic, we focus on two big things. First, improving the onboarding sequence to get more trials to activation. And we also fixed a friction point in the product experience itself. Over about 4 to 5 months of iteration, not overnight, we got the trial to customer conversion rate from around 10% to roughly 15%. This meant that with the same 800 trials per month, they went from getting 80 customers to about 120 paid customers. Then we scaled the traffic, and because the conversion system was working better, the incremental spend was more efficient. This was not a magic fix. It took multiple iterations. But the point is that they got meaningful improvement by fixing the system before just dumping more money into traffic. So here is how to think about whether you need more traffic or a better system. Ask yourself these questions. Is my conversion rate by stage declining as I scale or staying stable? If it's declining, that often indicates that the system has some issues. Maybe you are overwhelming your current capacity to convert. Do I know where my funnels break down most often? If you cannot answer this specifically, you do not have enough visibility to know if more traffic is going to help you. Next question is, what if I added 50% more traffic tomorrow? Do I have the processes in place to handle it? If the answer is probably not, or you're not sure, that's a system gap. I'm not saying traffic never matters. In early stage companies or even in new markets, you might need more traffic volume just to learn and gather data. But in mature businesses, companies that are spending maybe $50,000, $100,000, or even $500,000 a month on acquisition, the limiting factor is usually not traffic volume. It's the system's ability to convert the traffic efficiently. Traffic is valuable, but only if you have a system that can convert it. Most companies I see are running campaigns and tactics, but they do not have repeatable, scalable processes that work consistently. And that's what the S in Signal stands for: system. It's the foundation, and often it's what needs fixing before you scale. If you want to diagnose whether you have a traffic problem or a system problem, I have built a free assessment. It takes about 5 minutes and you will get a report showing you where your growth engine might be breaking down. I will drop the link in the description below. Next week, I'm going to break down the I letter in Signal, which stands for intent, and why solving the right problem for the right people at the right time matters more than perfect execution. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'll see you in the next video.